morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ERF community. My name is Thomas Bauernhansel. I'm the head of the Fraunhofer IPA, and I'm a professor at the University of Stuttgart. And it's my pleasure today to moderate the first keynote presented by Dr. Joerg Burzer, the COO of, we're working on that, the COO of Mercedes-Benz. And the Mercedes Group is, for us here in Stuttgart, a very important partner in our innovation system, a continuous supporting partner, and Mercedes is as well one of the exclusive sponsors of our conference. And in these challenging times, I really appreciate that we have the continuous support of the Mercedes Group. Thank you very much, Joerg Burzer, and to all the colleagues of Mercedes to support us. Dr. Joerg Burzer is an engineer. He did his PhD in material science, and he started to work for the DaimlerChrysler AG in that times in 1999. And during that time, he focused always on engineering topics, on production topics, on quality management. So he worked in several management positions in different regions worldwide. And in December 2021, he became a member of the management board of the Mercedes Group, and he's driving very much the topic, the sustainable development of production, the automation of production, always in order to increase productivity and flexibility and performance of the production sites, of the production network of Mercedes-Benz. We are very happy to have him here. Today he will talk about the transformation in production, how automation, how robotics will make a difference in the future, and how automation and robotics maybe will as well help to keep value adding in high-cost countries like Germany, like Europe. So I'm very happy to have you here, Joerg. And yeah, the stage is yours. And after the presentation, we will have the opportunity as well to discuss a little bit about your personal insights. So thank you very much for being here. The stage is yours, Joerg Burzer.
All right. Thomas, thank you very much for the introduction. Obviously very happy to be here. As far as I understood, around 1,400 participants. That's quite a lot from different countries, a very international conference. And again, very pleased to be here and talk a little bit about the transformation in automotive industry. You all know that we are in the biggest transformation in automotive industry probably since 100 years on the product side, because we're trying to master the transformation into electromobility. But there is also on the product side, but there is also transformation going on the process side. And production processes are really very much focused right now on a transformation of sustainability, but also digitalization and robotics. And I would like to talk about that today. Before I start, two remarks. First of all, I have a little bit of cold. So if I'm coughing or sneezing, bear with me. I don't want to be unpolite. Just probably need a 30 seconds break. And the second one, as Thomas said, I'm an old school hardware engineer, material science, mechanical engineering. So don't expect a scientific presentation on robotics. That's what you probably present in your papers today. I just want to give you a little bit an insight on what we have to expect and where we are focusing on at Mercedes-Benz. But first, I want to sell some cars. So we just had the world premiere in Rome of a brand new addition of our production platform portfolio and of our production network. That's the new CLA. And this is a symbol for the transformation on the product side, as just explained, because this car is our electric 1-liter car for the future with a range of more than 700 kilometers. You can basically charge 320 kilometers in 10 minutes. And what's the most important topic, it has a completely new MBOS, Mercedes-Benz operating system in the car, which is also influencing our production processes. So we are very much looking forward to that. I don't have any contracts with me, purchasing contracts, but obviously if you're interested, do not hesitate to contact me. But what is very important, and this is the link to the conference today, we obviously build that also with robots, with more than 1,000 robots, and the launch is quite soon in our plant, not far from here in Rastatt. So it's a German-built, made in Germany car, which we are launching in the second half of this year. So talking about production, this is our Mercedes-Benz operations network. We have around 80,000 team members at MO. We're producing 2.4 million vehicles a year, including passenger cars and vans. We have more than 30 production sites worldwide on 5 continents. And what is really the most exciting topic, our team consists of more than 100 nationalities. And yes, we are still working together in this setup. Sometimes if you read newspapers, that's not so common, but here it's very nice. On the east, on the west, on the south, and in Europe, we are working together as one team to master the challenges of transformation. And we have also more than 30,000 robots in our global production network. These, well, colleagues, I would say, sometimes, but these devices are helping us to produce the world's most desirable cars everywhere. They're covering 50 production processes. Is it body shop? Is it assembly? Is it paint shop? Not quite sure if we still have robots or already have robots in the legal department. But for sure, we have it also in the paint process. And next week, we will have the groundbreaking for our brand new, most modern paint shop in the automotive industry, also not far from here in Sindelfingen. We're investing more than 900 million with our cooperation partner Dürr, also a sponsor of this conference, and also there we are installing 100 robots in this brand new paint shop. We have them in orange, we have them in green, we have them in yellow, we have them in blue. They are all connected to our production ecosystem, digital production ecosystem, MO360. We are moving up to the cloud 2 terabytes a day of data, which is very important because, as we all know, robotics and data is really connected. The load applied is up to 1,000 kilogram, and the tolerances we are working with is around 500 micrometers. So that's the fleet of robots we have in our production network, helping us to produce these wonderful cars every day. And we have quite a history of using robots. I know that another OEM introduced, I think, in 1965, 1966, the first robot in automotive production. In 1971, we installed the first welding transfer line in our body shop in Sindelfingen. This was the start of using robots in production. This was pretty exciting, very new at this time. But right now, if you look in our body shops, you hardly see any team member. Yes, some maintenance team members, but it's basically a team member-free environment where we are operating right now. Coming back a little bit, and this might be also a question, coming back a little bit to the discussion we obviously also have, and I'll come back to that later, how humanoid robots are impacting the production environment. As I said, data and robots are very much connected, and the progress after 1970 to 2000 was basically the introduction of machine learning in our robot applications. So introducing sensors in the robot, that the robot were able to see, collecting data and using data to steer and control robots. And as we progressed in this challenge, in this transformation, we established in 2020 also a digital production ecosystem. We call it MO360, Mercedes Operations 360 Degree, where we basically, there's a robot moving my slides probably, so I have to go back again, where we basically using all data and collecting all data in our cloud system, Microsoft Azure, and to redistribute and apply algorithm to this production ecosystem. We are also using, with our partner NVIDIA, the NVIDIA Mercedes Omniverse to plan our factories, come back to that also later. And we decided in 2022 to allocate all our competences in one location, and this is Berlin, our oldest production plant, which is producing components and cars since 1902. Yes, more than 120 years in Berlin, Marienfelde. We decided that we establish a digital factory campus there, where we have a lot of robots on the one hand, but also a lot of competences in terms of data and artificial intelligence. We invested a 3-digit million euro amount in this location, and there we are developing basically all digital production processes, which we are then rolling out in our production network with over 30 factories. And last week, we introduced a new colleague. And I say it again, because it's a humanoid robot. It's Apollo. We decided to invest in one very, very interesting startup, not from Germany, not from Europe, but from the US, Apptronic. We announced that last week. And we showed a little bit what we want to do with this investment, with our partner Apptronic, and with this nice guy here. It's a Mercedes-branded humanoid robot, Apollo. And I give you a nice glimpse on what we did last week and what we perhaps also want to do in future.
This is Apollo. A super intelligent machine interacting with surroundings and help workers with their tasks. Built to navigate in human environments, it supports the team. Some jobs demand strength, precision, and endurance. Apollo steps in where it's needed most, lifting, assembling, and handling the repetitive work. Apollo is designed to augment and support people. It enhances human capabilities, taking on the heavy work so teams can focus on what really matters.
So these three nice guys, they're helping us right now in Berlin, in our factory. We used them before, and we introduced them before in our plant in Hungary for the first time, and we are rolling that out right now. What do we want to do with them? We want to use them basically at first in two main applications in production. The first is quality inspection, because we think that the combination of mechanicals and physics and AI can help us really on the exterior side and on the interior side of a car in quality management, but also in intralogistics, especially where loads are heavy, where sometimes tasks are hazardous. We want to use Apollos in this environment, and obviously we want to also talk about productivity. We want to increase productivity and we want to improve quality with these guys, with Apollos. What is very, very important, that we get data and physics together, that we use what I just described in our MO360 digital production ecosystem, the data on the cloud to train Apollos for their application in automotive production. That means, and this is very, very important for us, it's for us the winning core topic to really use humanoid robots in production is making data available to everybody. We say data democratization. We are coming out of a time where data basically was owned by silo organizations, also at Mercedes. And what we are doing right now with the MO360 digital production ecosystem, we make data available at the end for everybody. So talking about the system, we developed this system together with Siemens and Microsoft. Siemens because we're using an interface between the equipment, the robots, and the cloud, which is called Integra, and Microsoft obviously because we're using Microsoft Azure Cloud to store the data and to develop algorithm with Microsoft and with Siemens. More than 50,000 users in our production ecosystem. We just talked about 80,000 team members in the production environment, in our production network. So many of our colleagues are using that because they have data available, because data is democratized in our team. On the one hand, we have 100 applications. Is it digital shop floor management? Is it a quality management system? We call it Quality Life in running production. And again, we are developing that in our digital factory campus in Berlin, improving that, updating that, and rolling that out to our global production network. But not only in the process, but also in planning. As I mentioned before, our most important partner is NVIDIA. Here, what we are doing here is we are creating a digital twin of our factories. Also how we can install robots in a factory. Also how we improve the location of robots. And it's pretty easy what we are doing here. We have a very, very detailed digital twin of our factories. And the effect of that is that we can refurbish existing production lines and factories in a very, very short period of time and upgrade it, for example, to the production of our new CLA, for example, in Rastatt. And we do that also in Hungary, we do that in the US, we do that in China, we do it in South Africa. We basically do it everywhere. So less change costs and higher speed in introducing new production processes. And of course, artificial intelligence plays a big role. So if you have all data, if you have nice devices like Apollos, then the question is, what are you doing with the data? And obviously not only with robotics, also, for example, in the paint shop. If you have data, operating data of a paint shop, we coded our own algorithm to save 20% or increase the energy efficiency of our paint shops by 20%. We are introducing chatbots, our own chatbots for production, so that a worker at the line can basically access all data for a standard process description, and so on and so forth. And I have also a movie on how we use artificial intelligence in our daily work.
At Mercedes-Benz, AI is part of the team. Designed to be as intuitive as a chat, it helps us to make smarter, faster decisions. Our AI virtual agents make complex tasks easy, delivering real-time insights, optimizing workflows, and giving everyone instant access to expert knowledge, no coding needed. Built on decades of production expertise, our AI knows what matters in. It learns, adapts, becomes smarter, becoming a natural part of production.
So this is just a glimpse on what we are doing with artificial intelligence with our production team. This video was from Berlin, from our digital factory campus. And at the end, only the combination of data, artificial intelligence, and innovations on the physical mechanical side, like humanoid robots, will drive innovations in the production processes, like we do it now with Apptronic. I'm personally convinced, as we transformed car body work in 1970, I'm personally convinced that we will see humanoid robots. The question is with or without legs, but this has to be discussed in a couple of years in terms of planning, that we will see applications of humanoid robots in the next couple of years, mainly in intralogistics. For example, in the picking process of parts, which we then bring to the line, where artificial intelligence is enabling us to increase productivity and reduce, for example, mispicks, but also in quality inspection. And I think there is more to come. What is the physical shape of a humanoid robot at the end? This again has to be decided. And this is integrated now in the innovation process. But what we are doing now with a real humanoid robot, we basically working on the most sophisticated scenario, and which you can then basically scale down or scale up as you like. So combining everything, I'm very, very excited that you have your conference here together, this international conference, because we need you with your innovation, with your scientific know-how to develop these applications further. So I would like to kind of ask you to really exchange and discuss and bring robotics and data use in terms of artificial intelligence as well to the next level. And if you have ideas, do not hesitate to contact me. Perhaps we can apply it here in our factories, because having a scientific idea and bringing it to life in a real factory, at least in my short scientific career, this was always the best feeling, I have to say. Thank you very much.
Joerg, thank you very much for the inspiring keynote and the insights based on your experience and what you are doing at the Mercedes Group. And you already showed the new colleague, Apollo. So the question which comes immediately up in my mind is, when do we see the first colleagues with or without legs, whatever, based on this technology in real production? What is your expectation?
So basically we have already tried it, because probably your next question is how are the normal team members interacting with a humanoid robot. So this is basically why we wanted to introduce it very soon in our running production. It was pretty okay in Hungary, or very okay in Hungary, and you have seen also some interaction with the team members, with the star, giving that to a team member. What is very, very important, besides all the data development, it's communication. This is very good. So it's also depending a little bit on the shape. A humanoid robot should not look like a soldier, I would say. It should like kind of nice as well to be accepted. This should not be underestimated, I would say. And if you combine everything, and you get the acceptance level which you basically need, and I think it's pretty soon you will see that in the next couple of years.
Yeah. Acceptance, you mentioned it already, is one important topic. So it's a kind of change process going on in production. And as well, I can imagine safety is as well a topic, because these colleagues are heavy and maybe they have some safety issues as well. And especially in Germany, when we introduce new technologies, we have that issue that the safety is always the safety topic always on a high level. How do you plan to handle that?
Yeah, obviously occupational safety, working safety is extremely important, especially in a production environment. So we are working very much and focusing very much also, if you think about the applications. I have to say we have a lot of experience now with cobots, and we gained a lot of experience on how we integrate that also in the running assembly line, for example, and we are making progress. There's for sure some challenges, but what we basically can see, especially on the data side, and you can copy some of the experience we have on the product side as well. With level 2++ in a car, you can use some of the experience which we have there also in applying that to robots or humanoid robots. So this can be managed, and we can get that under control. But again, it's a focus area.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned the partners you're working with. NVIDIA is a very important partner, as well Microsoft, Apptronic. So what role do the European and German partners maybe play in that game? Is there a role for other companies in that game?
Yeah. So obviously we are not only focusing on non-German or non-European partners. Obviously we are very, very interested also to work with European and or German partners, as we have Siemens as a partner, as we have Dürr as a partner as well, very traditional German companies. I have to say, obviously we have the experiences sometimes with especially US, but also China-based startups. It's faster. It's not so much complicated, I would say, on the research side, but also on the startup side. Why not using this benefit? This is the one topic. On the other hand, obviously we would be very, very happy also to work with German startups and European startups as well. But there is a difference, I have to say.
Okay. So maybe one last question.
But I think what is interesting on that, sorry to interrupt you, it's not about competence. I think from a competence level, it's not really a difference. It's speed and pragmatism.
Okay, so that's maybe the answer already for my last question. Okay. If you would have a wish, because here's the European robotic community to the European robotic community, what would be the focus of your wish?
Yeah, as always, if you work on technical challenges, either on the product or process side, obviously the most important topic is that you know what you're talking about. It's competence, it's intelligence, and I'm convinced that we also have in Europe, either on the startup level in the companies, but also in the scientific environment, an extremely, extremely high competence. So saying that, I think the basis is there, it's really there. So let's try to transfer that into reality. Try to really focus at the end also on application and have the application always in mind. This is for me the most important topic, and there we always have kind of a lack of speed and focus. I would say if I work with American or Chinese companies, the application is always in the focus based on extremely high, but also in Europe you have extremely high scientific competence level. So let's do that and let's try that. And we are the last one who wouldn't work with partners from Europe or Germany.
Great. So thank you very much for your contribution, for your valuable contribution. We as well have a gift for you. It's over there. Compliance-wise, I hope it's okay. It's the Stuttgarter Genießer-Tütle.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
With some Swebian innovations, what we have learned yesterday from the mayor of Stuttgart.
Oh,
so thank you very much for your contribution.
Thanks, Joerg. Thank you.
So if you have some questions to Joerg, I think he will be here for the coffee break as well. And latest you will meet him maybe at the networking dinner, which is as well sponsored by Mercedes and the company Dürr. And now enjoy the coffee break, and we will meet again here in the Hegelsaal at 11:10 for the official opening. Thank you very much. See you later.